Good afternoon and welcome to One World Sports Radio broadcast of the final South African Rugby International for 2021. My name is Coach Dave, and alongside me for his debut is Anis Mohammed. Anis, you've been called off the bench for the bomb squad. Good afternoon.
Finally, I've been waiting for a while. How's it, everyone? I think we're in for a crackover game today.
Yes, absolutely. This is a game for Twickenham, and I think it's something that South Africa really want to end this year on a high. We've done some great work beating the British and Irish Lions, and Georgia doing some fantastic, putting together some fantastic performances against both the All Blacks and the Argentinians. We didn't have the greatest couple of games against the Wallabies, but
Australia,
this end of year series, this end of year series has been a real positive note for me. I think we've often had end of year tours where we've just kind of fell down right at the final hurdle because of fatigue and injuries, and we've been blessed for a number of years with guys that haven't been too seriously injured. I mean, other than Cheslin Colby and Archie Sneeman, we haven't had too many massive injuries. But I suppose that speaks to the depth of the South African team. Speaking of, Anis, can you run us through the Springboks for today's game? There's 23 players, but none of them have changed. They just changed positions.
Our front row, the Springbok front row, is Oxenchair, Bongiam Benami, and Trevor Nyakane. The locks are Eben Etzebeth and Nweti Yaga. The loose trio is Sia Kolisi, Kwagga Smith, and Dwayne Vermeulen. Our halfback pairing, they have Quilbus Reinach and Andre Pollard. The center pairing is Damien Delende and Lucanio Am. And the wings are Makazolo Mapimpi and Jesse Creel. And the fullback again this week is Billy Leroux. Our replacements, Malcolm Marks, Stephen Kitsoff and Vincent Koch, Franco Mostert, Visa Yanchis, both Yanchis, Herschel Yanchis and Elton Yanchis, and Francois Steyn with the boot of the year. He's got a huge boot.
The rocket foot.
Boot, yeah.
Absolutely.
The siege guy.
England lineup is absolutely. England lineup as follows: Bevan Rod, Jamie Blameyer, and Carl Sinclair. The two number 1 and 2, Rod and Blameyer, are fairly young, less than 5 caps between them. So it's going to be a massive time for the Springboks. Yeah. They have Oxenchair, who are quite young to international rugby, but we've seen over this international outgoing series that South Africa just produce props as they do fast bowlers in cricket, and so there's never really a challenge for him. I mean, we've seen him absolutely demolish them in the past. Moro Toje, the pain in the South African side during the Lions series. His partner is Johnny Hill, only 11 caps to his name. Courtney Laws, the captain for today, is in with Sam Underhill as his partner. Tom Curry continues at 8th man. Ben Youngs and Marcus Smith are your halfback pairing. Ben Young's 109 caps, but his partner for today is Marcus Smith, only 3 caps so far. So the experience of Ben Youngs is going to be absolutely key. Johnny May and Manato Langi are your 11 and 12. Your outside center is Henry Slate. Joe Marchant is number 14, the right wing today, with Freddie Stewart at 15. So a really young side in some aspects, but also a well-experienced side.
Experienced, yeah. It's a good mix of experience. And if you look at it, Ben Youngs, who's at Scrummy, is paired with Marcus Smith, who only has 4. So it's 111. He's got the experience to lead his fly-off well. You've got a very experienced center pairing. It's just your back 3 is going to be, well, I would suppose that Johnny May should be in charge, even though he's on the wing and not fullback. So yeah, it's good that a good mix of experience and youthful, the exuberance that the younger players would bring.
Remember that these two teams met each other last in the 2019 Rugby World Cup final. We're going to bring that up quite a bit. If you don't like it, tell us. 1WSR.com. Make sure you follow our Facebook and Instagram pages. And as well as our YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell so that you know when we're going live. We're going to be bringing you the South Africa A versus India A series on another platform on YouTube or Supersport. We're also going to be bringing you the South Africa Netherlands game, which is going to be a fantastic one. It's good to see some guys that are really putting in performances in the current 4-day competition ahead of that ahead of that series against the Dutch. So it's going to be exciting. South Africa have never lost to the Dutch, and at the same time, the South Africans have hit 6 sixes off the Dutch. It was Herschel Gibbs who hit Dan van Bung in 2007 for 6 sixes. But more importantly, the rugby today. If we look at this, the benches, I mean, we've got Joe Marler, who's an experienced campaigner. But other than that, and it's a really, really fresh international bench compared to the South African bench, which you could say that would comfortably start in any other team. I think, South Africa have been blessed with a good bench 2018, 2019, 2020, and 21. But the English are really, they're really trying out there. Other than Joe Marler, Will Stewart, and Charlie Ewells, nobody else has double digits to their name, and Nick Dolly gets a debut.
Yeah, but one thing we have to realize is this is probably the last tour for a couple of these guys, for a couple of these Springbok players. I don't see Monet staying, not Monet, well, he's already retired, but Francois Stein's probably done after this tour. So, but you never know. You might still be playing for the Springboks when he's 50.
15 years, and I back him to play for another 15. He's going to pull a Monet Steyn and then win us another World Cup, and he's going to be the first player to ever win a World Cup. Your officiating team for today are Andrew Brace from Ireland. His assistant was last week's referee is Angus Gardner. Frank Murphy is assistant number 2, and the TMO is Brian McNeese. It's a wonderful kickoff from the Springboks. They're playing right to left. It's between the 50 and the 22, and the English are playing left to right. Good early movement here from the English. They're going to want to look to build from the back. Good support there from Maro Turje. Ben Youngs will look to direct play here. There's a bit of shifting around. The box kick comes now, and it's going to come down comfortably in the end for Dwayne Vermeulen. He takes it, and he has Joe Marchant really on him immediately. Kobus Ranach snipes around the outside. He's got some good momentum. He quickly has to get some support because there's nobody in the ruck there as Makazole Mapimpi steps into the scrum half position. Ranach now once again to Pollard. Pollard to Dwayne Vermeulen, who's got Loort Diache in support. He's back in the mix after missing out last week to give Franco Mostert his 50th cap. Andre Pollard hangs a bomb high in the air. Good contestation from Jesse Creel, but he can't get his hands on it. And Tom Curry is the man who collects it. So turnover ball for England as they set up now for the box kick. Ben Youngs lofts it high into the air. Good catch by Willie Leroux. He's between his own 50 and he's 10 and 22, and he's brought down just shy of the 10-meter line. Kobus Ranach looking to throw it to the near side of the field. He catches Bongi Mbanambi, who's got Retsego Faritsu and Che in support. Ranach now goes to Andre Pollard, who hangs this high and hopefully getting some momentum. Caught there by Freddie Stewart, and he breaks away through one tackle, but he's brought down by Eben Etzebeth as they are on the halfway line. There's a hanging kick now from Marcus Smith. There's an opportunity for them to maybe steal it back. It pops forward and back. And I'm not sure if there was anything forward or back there, but England now with a cross kick from Marcus Smith. He's trying to find some space behind Makazole Mapimpi, and it's caught in the side, the 22 by Joe Marchant. And this is a great space for the English now to try and get some forward momentum. Ball going now to Sinclair, who just brought down short of the 22. He gives it to Marcus Smith, who finds Moro Toje. They're just hammering away at this 22-meter line of the Springboks. Marcus Smith gets over a one tackle, but there's a chip through, and there's an opportunity now for the English to perhaps score, but the ball is dotted down, looks like behind the goal line by Willie Leroux. Anis, that was really a good bit of play there from the English, but concern for the South Africans at home.
Well, they kept him out, so that's a good thing. But yeah, the England are really trying to break this line. So far, they haven't been able to run through it. That's good. But these chip kicks, but good cover from Billy at the back. By the way, some more stats. The South African record, or the record between these two teams, while the scrum is being set up, played 41. South Africa have won 26. England have won 15, and there've been 2 draws. So South Africa played the Springboks played the first test ever against England.
So the challenge as well, Anis, for the Springboks of late is that we haven't been able to create a win at Twickenham since I think 2013 is the stat that pops into mind. As there's a 5-meter scrum setting now, the English will have the feed, so Ben Youngs will be the man to put into the scrum, and the referee Andrew Brace is telling them to hold it. We'll start that one again. There's a free kick now. Looks like there's an early engagement from the Springboks. They've got to just remain calm here, do the Springboks, because you're so close to the try line. They're going to go again for the scrum. Good call there from Ben Youngs. The experience is, you might have quite a young front row, but maybe you want to use that early engagement as an opportunity to put the Springboks under pressure. Matthew Proudfoot is the forwards coach for England, but those of you who follow will know that he's a former South African forwards coach. So can he unlock the Springbok success with their forward dominance? Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be key for the English if they're going to have a real go at this, as we see Sinclair eyeing up Retsego Faritso and Che Ox. And it's going to be good to see how they go here. The set is called now. Ben Youngs with the feed, but South Africa have collapsed again. And so Bevan Rod, with his second cap in international rugby, gets a slap from his players. My word, he's got the wood over Trevor Nyakane there. 52 caps for the Springbok prop. He looks surprised, and there's a bit of a shake of the head there from Bongi and Banambi. So what did you think about that incident there? And he said it didn't really look like the Springboks looked comfortable there.
No, I think was the second scrum of the game. Players might not be warmed up or G'd up as they should be, but this three front row, the front row for the Springboks is insane.
Blamire with the throw, and they go into the maul. It's held up about 3 meters short. They're all kind of arguing to say, me first, me first, me first. It looks like Sinclair's going to pick this one and drive. He's got support from Johnny Hill. He does, but he doesn't really get forward. They try to shove forward now. There's going to be a truck and trailer type movement here as this one goes out a little bit wider to Manu Tuolangi, who's pushed back beyond the 5-meter line. Good defense here from the Springboks, but it's not over just yet. As the ball goes wide to the English, they're looking to spread things out. There's a breakaway, and he's held short. There's Johnny May. Fantastic work here from the Springboks to hold them at bay, but it's not over yet. They're hammering the try line here. Maro Toje going into some traffic there. He's 3 meters short. There's a pick and go from Johnny May. They're desperate to try and get over the try line here. Are the English? There's options left and right. They go left to try and stretch. There's numbers out wide, and here's an opportunity for the English to get away from the Springboks, and he does. It's number 12, Manu Tuolangi, coming around the back. There was no opportunity there for the Springboks. They were completely outnumbered, and the English have a try within the first 10 minutes of the game.
Very well worked try. Went left and right. Was very, very well done from the English.
I think
I'm not too excited. I'm very behind. But yeah, it was a very well worked move.
International try from Manu Tuolangi, but it all came through from that line out. There was a short throw to Maro Toje, the pick and drive, which meant that the South African defenders were all in one place, and then because of the dummy run rather, and the throw out to Manu Tuolangi, there was nobody at home to defend, and a desperate tackle from Jesse Creel initially to try and disrupt play, but once that pass was offloaded to Tuolangi, he wasn't going to waste an opportunity like that. A good finisher like him, and it's 5-0 as Andre Pollard despairingly tries to hold up Tuolangi. So 5-0, 7 minutes gone, and the English are on top here. This is a tactic that they used for quite a long period in the Six Nations and World Cup leading into that World Cup final in 2019. We look at the conversion now through the sticks. No problem, Marcus Smith. And so South Africa trail 7 points to 0. It was a tactic of theirs to score early, and so you're immediately on the back foot, and we managed to snuff that out in the final, but they've done it once again here.
I think this is like 16 out of like 20 games where they scored within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I just have to check that stat, but it's impressive stat.
Tuolangi scored, but he's going off here, and it looks like Marlins is going to come on. I think it's just a precautionary here. Max Mullins is number 23 for today. Ben Youngs inside his zone 22 from the resultant kickoff, hoofs this high into the air, and he's just lobbed it out. So South Africa will have a throw just further than the 10-meter line in the English half. So remember, they're playing right to left. It's about
to left, yeah.
12, 15 meters. We're just having a look at what happened there with Tuolangi. He landed quite awkwardly on his shoulder, I think, which is not something the English would want because, Mullins has only got 9 caps to his name. De Jager with the catch now, and South Africa immediately shoved back. They're going to have to work hard here. They're now around about the back of the maul is on the 10-meter line, and Bongi Mbonambi is driving that truck as they get through the English forwards, and it looks like he's been shoved.
Oh, it's around the throat, Mr. Ref.
It looked like, but it was right in front of the ref, and you would have thought that he would have said something. Not in this case where De Jager now has the ball. Reinach is looking to perhaps go to the blind side. He's got Kwagga Smith in support, but he doesn't. He goes for a box kick to try and get it just inside the 22, and I'm sure there'll be a mark called. There is a mark called as Jesse Creel has to get on top of him, but it looks like he's knocked it on, trying to take it quickly there. Now that was I don't know why his teammates are giving him a high five there. He's called the mark, immediately taken it and knocked it on. That's a catastrophic error.
Unless they're not giving the knock on.
I would hope that they would. It looks like Tuolangi's game is over. He's coming off the park.
His knee.
Is it his knee? Yeah, it looks like they've strapped his knee there as it looks like they're setting up for a scrum, and I think he's knocked it on about the 5-meter line. I think this is going to be a massive opportunity for the Springboks to actually hammer them. And the discussion in the huddle as we see it happening now, it's right on the far side of the park in the corner. I think the discussion here, Nice, is that we've got to smash them hard here in this scrum, because if we let them win this ball back, or at least if we get shoved back, the opportunity to really strike back early here is going to be a challenging one.
Yeah. I think the forwards are we're getting together and having a very, very honest pep talk. I do think that our front row could scrum them to oblivion, because you see the size of our my guys.
Yeah, that's the problem is we didn't have the best 2 scrums.
On the other side of the field. Earlier.
So what we'll do is we'll see here they've reset.
They go down
penalty
again
for England. South Africa again going down, and there's a bit of pushing and shoving from Ox as he's not happy with Carl Sinclair's binding. Again, it's Trevor Nyakane is the man who's noted as guilty, and Siyakolisi says, "Just chill for a bit, mate. Just chill for a bit."
Why don't they need to show a reverse angle for us to give proper analysis of that? Because that look, as soon as he hit, he went down.
Yeah, we're just going to have a look now. There you go. And immediately he's been pulled down by Bevan Rod. So
in front of the touch judge.
Yeah, which is all the more frustrating. Maro Toje's massive celebration there, but he's literally bound and then slammed it down. Throw now, and South Africa turn over the ball. Great bit of work there from the Springboks in the turnover in the lineouts here, and it looks like we've lost it again. Though it's frustrating because we just get the go ahead and we lose possession. Now England on their own 10 or just shy of their own 10-meter line.
Oh, big hit!
Youngs is gonna make sure that he can distract the play here for the Springboks. As we see great bit of work there from Bongi Mbonambi in the ruck. He's seriously fired up. I think the South African forwards have had enough of these scrum penalties. The ball goes high into the air and it goes outside the 22. That's a bit of a mistake from the Centurion scrum half. You would have thought he would have wanted it to be just inside, but no dice.
I think it's going to be interesting now. Oh no! As I lose my feet.
Okay. Now I'm happy to cover here. So Bongi Mbonambi with the throw to his team. Etzebeth takes it. He pops it off to Reinach to Pollard. Pollard to Siyakolisi, who gets brought down by 2 men in the midfield. Delende to Islander and Pollard to Villilu, who chips it over the top. There's an opportunity here for Makazole Mapimpi, there looks like it might have been a knock on, perhaps just a knock back. But England inside there. Oh, it was. The English have held on there. Now there's a bit of pushing and shoving. Mapimpi and De Jager are getting in the middle of it. Why Cobus Ranach is there, I couldn't tell you. Villaroo takes a chip kick, and he looks like he was going to tap and go. And he's dotted down, but I think the referee's saying, hold on, fellas, let's just deal with the chaos. But Johnny May there, trying to take on Cobus Ranach and Lot De Jager.
Yeah, it's
unnecessary.
No, but there's a lot of unnecessary thing going on. Trying to take do a quick ball after the mark earlier on. It's try to get momentum by doing crazy things. It works for the All Blacks. Why not for England?
Yeah, definitely an opportunity. Well, I think the key for the Springboks here is they've got to make the most of this chance. They're right on the English try line, and they're 7 points behind. I don't think the plan here can be to go for poles, as much as that would be the case if it was earlier in the game. But we're just having a look at Johnny May there. He's completely knocked it on. You can see the grimace on his face, but they've not given it as a knock on. It's knocked sideways. I don't know if that's that's the way to go. But yeah, and he's fumbling errors here from England could be South Africa's way to claw their way back into this game. It looks like they're going to go for poles as Andre Pollard slots this one through the sticks. No problem. That means South Africa are on the scoreboard in the 14th minute through a penalty. It's 7 points to 3, and this game is just warming up.
I'm just trying to catch up to you now.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. So South Africa will now receive the kickoff. I think for both teams, a little bit more comfortable for everybody. The interesting pace of the game is going to be determined in the next 10 minutes. We speak as Springbok fans. Wait for the last 20 or so minutes. This one is high in the air. It's hanging, and it's going to come just outside South Africa's 22. Good catch by Villaroo. He's got Cobus Ranach, who sends it to De Jager. He's got good support there from his front rowers, Nyakane and Ox and Che, as we set up for the box kick. Inside the 22, it hangs high in the air. It's going to come down between 10 and halfway. There's a bit of obstruction from the English players, but it ends up in the South African hands because they've run into each other. Pollard to Villaroo. Leroux throws it on the floor. That was a shocking pass. Lucanio cleans it up, and he's immediately swarmed by Maro Toje, and it's stolen from the South Africans. They try to kick it through traffic, does Johnny May, and the referee says, whoa, everybody slow down for a moment. It's going to be an England penalty. Toje is celebrating his teammates' support there. He's stolen it from Lucanio and it all went sideways with the Villaroo pass there. You can't throw it on the floor and expect a teammate to catch.
That's like the story of Villaroo's of a Villaroo game. So we'll see something. He'll do something amazing, and the next moment he can't throw a simple pop pass.
Yeah, I think that's the frustration with a lot of fans, and I think even more so when Apelele Fasi hasn't gotten an opportunity to play in this series. Never mind Damian Willems, who was on for all of about 5 minutes in a game early in the series. And so, that's something that we want is depth within our squad, and we can't rely on France staying forever. I don't think. Scrum now for the Springboks. We've got to absolutely smash them here. Ben Youngs with the feed, and what a scrum by the Springboks! They've absolutely smashed them, almost wheeled them through 90, but the ball comes out. Space now for the English down the right hand side. Jesse Creel's doing a bit of cover work there as he's sidestepped by Max Mellons. The English have an opportunity now. They're 5 meters out from the try line. Ben Young's trying to direct traffic. He's got left and right there complaining of the South Africans to say, please, they're holding up traffic here unnecessarily. They go to the blind side. Number 15. It's great bit of work by Freddie Stewart, and he's over. The English have a try, 2 within the first 20, and South Africa have no answers for them yet. This is a fantastic performance from the English. Wow. Oh, wow. Freddie Stewart, the international, his 5th cap, but only his 2nd try for the English Roses. Springboks have no answers for the English out wide.
Oh, no. That was, cut through the Spring. I was saying earlier on that they haven't unlocked the Springboks defensive line. It seems like they have now. just drew them to the blind side and just went wide. It was very, very, very well done by the English. I actually thought, but there was a tackle in there by Siya Kolisi where they went left, and I think he went for it and then changed direction mid air or something to complete the tackle on the other side. It was great. I thought he was super bad, but I also
Yeah,
thought they held it
absolutely.
up. But up, oh, okay,
That
no, you
looks
didn't.
like quite a comfortable touchdown in the
That's
end.
right.
But Anis, you want to defeat the Springboks, get in their head. I think
Yeah,
these English players, as we see the conversion to come from Marcus Smith, it's on the near side of the park, just outside the 22, about 12, maybe 10 meters in, and he slotted that comfortably. Much better
beautiful.
kicking record than we saw from the Scots last week. So 14 points to 3. The South Africans are behind, and it all comes through that mind game. South Africa, if they dominate through scrums, are gonna be able to dominate in defense. At least that's what
Yeah,
I have picked up. And so 3 or
those
4
first
scrums
two,
here early, and
correct.
South Africa have only just rectified the scrumming issue. And so that's where we find ourselves. Kickoff once again, just on the 22-meter line. Good catch, Maro Toje, but he's swamped by an Eben Etzebeth who probably deserves a World Rugby Player of the Year.
Draft over.
The Springboks are there. They're upsetting the English ruck, and they cannot get out of their own 22s. We see Tuolangi brought down inside his own 22. There's almost certainly a box kick coming as Ben Young sets up with his ruck. This one is chipped over the top, not necessarily a bomb, and he's kicked it out again. So that's 3 times now, Anis, that we've seen him kick it out. Now, the first two, well, the first and the third one, he kicked it out from inside his own 22, but the other one was outside his own 22. I think the key for box kicking, especially from the back of the ruck, and somebody who's brilliant at it, is Faf de Klerk. But it needs to have weight to it, and not necessarily the height, but rather the territory and the position that can be gained from it. South Africa now on their attack, forward momentum. Delende smashes through it. 2, 3, 4 tackles in midfield. He's over the 10-meter line. Reinach now finding Pollard. Pollard to Viliru. Chips it through for Makazuruma Pimpi. It's going to be collected here and cleared out by Freddie Stewart. There was somebody at home, but it's a good idea from Viliru as he tries to catch the English unawares. They're going to have a throw, will the Springboks, outside their own 22 as the referee looks like he's going to have a look at this passage of play. Their time is off. And 19 minutes, 53 seconds in this game at Twickenham. While they have a bit of a break, don't forget that you can like and subscribe this YouTube video. Ring the bell so that you know when we're going live. We're going to bring you the Netherlands series. This is obviously the last Rugby International for 2021, but we will be bringing you more rugby in the future, as well as our podcasts. We bring you a Fantasy Premier League podcast. We bring you a Premier League podcast. We bring you the Full Quota podcast, which is cricket related. So that all the sporting information that you need is right here in front of us. So it's an exciting time for One World Sports Radio. So Facebook, give us a thumbs up, as well as tweet us at One World SR. We'll bring you some comments. So advantage now for the Springboks from that throw in the lineout. The man was brought down early from the jumper. So Dalinde through midfield. Pollard, he's got some space. He tries to chip through. There's Jesse Creel on the outside. Can we collect it? And it's gone out on the far touch line, and they'll come back for the penalty for the Springboks from the throw there. What happened was there was a jumper for the Springboks, and he was brought down just too soon. They brought him into contact before he was actually down. So England finally transgressing. If you're a Springbok fan, something for the Springboks here to hopefully claw their way back into this encounter.
England will be happy with just giving away 3. If they're going for poles.
They're going to go for poles.
England, in that whole passage of play, England. They've lost 3 points, but they hit by 11 more. If Andre slaps us over, 8. They'll be ahead by 8, but still the Boks need to score twice still. So so they'll be happy with that whole passage of play instead of being run ragged, give away 3 points. It's an old principle that New Zealand love doing. They'll give the opposition 3 points every time they're on attack, because they know that as soon as they get the ball, they'll put up 5. They'll come away with points as soon as they touch the ball. So yeah.
Yeah, I think
I wonder
if
England have the same mentality.
if you're making your way, as we see Henry Pollard slot that through the poles, no problem for him. So the South Africa trail by 8 in the 22nd minute. You've got to make forays into your opposition's 22 counts, Anis, and England have done that comprehensively. The Springboks seem a little bit uncertain, as we see somebody in the crowd with a Rugby mask, and the generic meme that came out this week was Rassie Erasmus can't be on the park, so there's a bus driver that needs to happen. But, I'm sure he's watching the game very closely. It's not his first suspension from the Springboks. As Reinach inside his own 22 from the kickoff, it looks like there's a truck and trailer movement here between De Jager and from Etzebeth, but it's immediately smothered by Tom Curry, and the English have a penalty inside the South African 22. It came from the kickoff there, and Anis, South Africa were asleep.
Yeah. Just the referee blew it for the penalized South Africa for being off their feet at the rugby.
Okay. But you are correct. I think that's where the challenge was. They saw that Eben Etzebeth was not on his feet, and that's why South Africa were penalized. But it was a truck and trailer movement. He had De Jager, into the tackle, and then didn't quite get off of him quick enough, and
then roll away.
That's where the resultant penalty came from. But Etzebeth was player of the match against Scotland last week, and surprisingly, South Africa was snubbed all but Lukhanyo Arm's try against the British and Irish Lions for South Africa A. I can't fathom it. I cannot fathom as to why the Springboks have been snubbed, really.
World Rugby is just not happy with Rassie Erasmus, so it was a punishment, as most people online have been saying. That
just to the left of the uprights. Marcus Smith slots that in, no problem. So he was just to the left of the uprights inside the 22. Too simple for him, and England are back up to an 11-point lead as we head into the 24th minute. First quarter of the first half, or first quarter of the game. Anis, what's your summation?
England are definitely controlling the pace of the game, and I think what the Springboks need to do is keep ball in hand for a bit, just slow everything down. England are, as we've seen, as we've seen, England are this
outside his 22, and there's Ben Young setting up now. They give it away to number 6, Courtney Laws, skipper, nearly 100 caps, 87 caps, as he takes this over the 22-meter line. Ben Young's then launches it high into the air, and Dwayne Vermeulen's not going to miss that opportunity to collect. And there's a penalty coming for the Springboks here, not clearing away the guilty man, number 8, Tom Curry. He did a brilliant job earlier in stealing for the English, but in this instance, not rolling away. Just over the halfway line, Ben Young's and Tom Curry and Moro Toje. Moro Toje reminds me of Heinrich Brousseau, Anis, who just treads that line very, 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 very narrowly, as we see South Africa going for the poles just inside our own half. Front Steen's not on the park, so I'd be keen to see who actually takes this one.
But except that Toje is like a foot taller than
Fair enough. But it's a similar style of play. It's that annoying nuisance, stealing it every time. I think David Pocock is also somebody who's very good at that. As somebody who is very good at Michael Hooper's good at it at the moment. But there's been very many good fetches. Richie McCaw was a cheat. He would come in from the side. I don't like him. I'm not a fan of Richie McCaw. I'm grumpy like that. I'm not a fan of Richie McCaw.
No. We're petty. We're very petty.
Absolutely. So, opportunity for the Springboks here to come back with another 3 points far to the right-hand touchline, and he's hit it here. It's looking like it's got the distance. Yes, through the sticks, and South Africa have a penalty that they should be proud of. I mean, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be your traditional opportunity to score through the poles there, but really well done by Andre Pollard. He was right against the right-hand touchline, about 3 meters in the English half, and he's made it count as South Africa now only trail by 8 points. Kickoff now to the middle of the park, and a simple catch by Villaroo. He's immediately smashed. Surely he didn't land.
In the air.
Surely he didn't land. But anyway, that ball comes out, Kobus Ranach, and hits Trevor Nyakane on the head. I don't think he meant to do that. South Africa now have to clean up from the from their own half. It's about 15 meters out from the try line. As it looks like they're setting up for a box kick here. Kobus Ranach is going to have to clear his lines. Chase now for Jesse Creel on that right-hand side, but it's going to go into touch. There's a space here for a quick throw, but not the case. What was Trevor Nyakane doing? He was looking the opposite direction. The ball wasn't even for him.
No, I think he caught Kobus right next side, and he was trying to come around, and he just got in the way. Because I think that was meant for Pollard to clear.
Quick throw to Courtney Laws, and the ball goes through the hands. As this one is kicked through for Jesse Creel to do a bit of collection work as he falls down.
Oh,
and it looks like we're gonna go back for a penalty there. I'm not quite sure. Oh, the penalty was offside rather, and so the Springboks have their ball inside their own between 50 and 10. And Joe Marchant had no idea that he was offside. He asked the assistant referee as we see the play here. Yeah, he's well offside. Well offside.
Well,
you can't you can't chase when you're in front of the kicker by about 5 or 6 meters. As this one is thumped out. Looks like the English almost put it out themselves, but I suppose he was just trying to keep it in there. Handré Pollard has a nervous smile on his face. Just have a look at this, Anis. What happened here?
Handré Pollard slipped, number one, and then it went as it was going over. Yeah, he slipped and landed. That's why I was wondering why there wasn't that much distance. Yeah,
if you're a football fan, 2008 Champions League final, I think John Terry slipped. Throw now. Eben Etzebeth is the collection, and the South Africans are pushed back immediately. I think they've got to keep an eye on this referee here. This dodgy Irishman, my word. Twice South Africans have been pushed back, and now there's a penalty coming. Blindside, Makazole Mapimpi is assisting Kobus Ranach, but it goes out. Maybe the Irishman is not dodgy, but twice I've seen them all move before the man has landed on his feet, and Willie Leroux was tackled before he'd landed. I'm not happy with the refereeing, but
I'm not happy. Well, I told you about it in the beginning with the two scrums with being pulled down, and then amazingly when the referee is on the side where the scrum was collapsing, it doesn't collapse. So what does that tell you? But you can mock penalties. Everyone mocks penalties, so.
But we're not allowed to complain about referees, otherwise we get
no.
But it's fine. We can take a 2-month ban. I don't mind. We'll take a 2-month ban.
It's the last game of the season.
Just us as commentators, just give us a 2-month ban. We'll be back in June next year. As Nyakane has a nice... no, it's not Nyakane. It's Retsago Faditsu and Che has a stare down with the number 3, Carl Sinclair. I'm excited to see the next scrum because boy, oh boy, are these Springboks fired up. Again, the penalty opportunity here to the left of the touchline, to the left-hand side, rather, of the uprights. Handré Pollard is about 50 meters infield between the 10 and the 22. He hits it through the poles. My word, he's having the game of his life here with the kicking. It's been poor in this outgoing series, but South Africa are clawing their way back slowly within this last 10 minutes of the first half. 17 points to 12, and
I think his problem on this
towards the
tour,
end of the first half.
I think his problem on this tour was with his rhythm, and there was that meme of him and Siya Kolisi doing a little bit of a jive to
Caught their own kickoff, have the English Maratoje smash.
Oh, big
My
hit!
word, in the middle of the park. Goodness me, that was a huge kick, and the ball's popped out.
Here we go.
You know, unconvincingly, and now the English have to try and clear their lines as this one is kicked out, and South Africa will have a throw-in on probably about the 10-meter mark outside their own try line. Thankfully, they have their own throw.
That was a huge hit on a Toje. Huge. Cut him in half.
I told you that the next interaction is going to be a nice one. Oh, there's a bit of a shove there. Bonge Manambi on Sinclair. Let me tell you, the next scrum is going to be something serious. My goodness me. South Africa, only 4 men in the line-out. De Jager, Etzebeth, Nche, and Nyakane. They do it for the dummy jumper, and it goes straight to Ranach on the try line. Dwayne Vermeulen is held up there by Bevan Rod, about 10 meters out of his try line. Use it once is the call. Goes deep. Pollard kicks it, and it's going to come...
Here we go.
Oh, not quite out.
Doesn't find touch.
England now with the forward momentum as they head into the midfield. just shy of the 10-meter line. There's a tackle on number 11, Johnny May. And South Africa have gained a massive amount of territory. Ben Young's here with the short throw to the forward. It doesn't really get the go-ahead initially that he would have wanted, but gets over the advantage line. Good bit of work there from the English forwards. They're again going to look at Laws, but they skip him. They go to Marcus Smith, who tries to make a play. They're smashed right in the middle of the park on the 10-meter line. Now England are looking to go the opposite direction. They go to their hooker, Jamie Blanmeyer, as they clearly not interested in going for forward momentum here. They try to get something going here, but the ball's popped out and it's going to go wide. South Africa have to desperately defend here as Damian Delande chucks out the replacement, Max Mullins. Good bit of work there, covering work from the South African centre. My word, that was heart and mouth stuff for the English. And South Africans, rather.
Yeah, my feed died halfway through that. So I was listening to you and then I didn't reset it.
Yeah, it was Ben Youngs who popped it up. He tried to get running on Mano Tuolangi. Thankfully for them, they were able to clean up as it went through Freddie Stewart and then eventually Max Mullins out wide. Another 4-man line out here as Bongi Banambi gets ready to go. Etzebeth collects and they go for a maul and he tries to shove his way through. Good bit of momentum there for the Springboks. Reinach now having to dig deep inside that ruck to find an opportunity. Kwagga Smith with Dwayne Vermeulen in support with Siya Kolisi as well. Reinach is directing his forwards around the back here. He's going to go through to a box kick. He tries to kick that over and he does. It doesn't quite go where he wants it to. He had immediately Moro Toje bearing down on him, and that hasn't really gone far. South Africa now have to defend inside their own 22 as we head into the final 6.5 minutes of this half. It's not been convincing from the Springboks. Yeah, the key, you've called it. They need to just have a deep breath and reconvince themselves. I think South Africa would be probably planning for a second half comeback of note. We know that South Africa's bench is far more experienced than the English. I mean, it is 42, 55, 27, 47. There's only one person with a single digit caps, and that's Jasper Wiese, who proved himself invaluable during the Lions series. So quick ball now for the English as they tried to cut back inside. Good tackle by Nyakane. A slip from Andre Pollard means that somebody else has to do the defensive work. Bevan Rod right in front of the posts here, about 10, 15 meters out. Ball goes wide to Joe Marchant. He tries to pop it away, but they're right in the corner, the near side of the park. Ball goes inside. What a hammer of a tackle there on Bevan Rod. He wasn't going to hold back. And South Africa get a penalty 15 meters out from their try line, not releasing. And it was all down to that tackle of Ratsego Faditswe Nche on Bevan Rod. If we just watch that again, Anis, he smoked him there.
I saw that. Oh, it was great.
Bang! What an incredible tackle.
One and of then immediately, to sit down.
It was literally, sit down, fella. This is not yours. So South Africa with 2 turnovers to the England's 0. So I think coming back to the second half, Jasper Wiese really proved his worth against the British and Irish Lions, and we're going to see more of that, I'm sure, in the second half. So South Africa coming into that second half, couple of substitutions here and there, and you would think that they would have this second half comfortably won for a second round of fights. But Bevan Rod is England's youngest prop since 2003, English starting prop since 2003. It's only his second cap. And so to get smashed by Ox in your second cap is no easy feat. Just inside the English line here, as this one goes between the hands of everybody. Kobus Reinach does the cleanup work in the back there. Good bit of work. He's got Kwagga Smith and Demi Delende in support. And Nyakane is the man who's at the back. He's immediately swarmed by English players, and it looks like it's going to be a turnover here. Because Reinach was at the bottom of the ruck, nobody was able to get to the ball, and by the time Nyakane got there, it was too late. Chip over the top as South Africa collect inside the 50, the 10 and 22. This pitch is really slippery here. We've seen a couple of players slip and fall. Mapimpi just behind his halfway line, and South Africa are penalized inside their own half. There's slaps on chests all around there as number 8, Tom Curry, has worked hard to force a penalty there from the Springboks, but the slip from the Springboks on 2 occasions. Now we saw Handré Pollard slip, and then again we see a slip there meant that the English were able to really get on top of things as the ball's going to be cleared away here. Looks like Henry Slade is going to kick the ball here. Not often we see a center kick it for the corner. I mean, Matt Gitto is maybe the other one who would have kicked it regularly from the number 12, number 13 position, and perhaps France then as he kicks this one. It looks like it's going to be around halfway between the 22-meter line and the 5-meter line outside the try line. We see the South African bench warming up there. France Staines, Kitshoff, as well as it looks like Franco Mostert, Jasper Wiese, Malcolm Marx. I think those boys are licking their chops, because if they get on here, they're going to murder these. They're going to murder these Englishmen in the second half. Whether it's the current team that's on the park or the substitutes, they really have outdone themselves. Have the England forwards? They were, immediately going to be the second. Quick throw here as they go back to the hooker Blamai. It was a 1-2. You have it, no, I have it, and then they didn't really get forward momentum. You would have thought that an opportunity to really get some forward momentum was going to be the case there, but Tom Curry has now been smashed behind the 22, and there's a penalty for the Springboks, not releasing. And Tom Curry, who tried to get some go-ahead ball there, was held up, and he wasn't able to release. And South Africa just over their 22-meter line. It was off-feet support, and South Africa have now put themselves within an opportunity to perhaps get a late score here. And is this the way that they're going to come within a couple of points here before halftime?
We'll have to see, but this is now you will see that England will try to watch their discipline, because they're within scoring distance of one big score, and then it's all even. So this next line out is going to be very interesting. But here we go. I think it's quick.
Etzebeth gets it now. There's a more. Immediately, Khaleesi pops out the back, chip over the top here for South Africa to try and collect. Good bit of work there by Max Mullins, who chips it away. Good work there by the English in cleaning that up. And that's going to go out, it seems, as they did a fantastic bit of work there. Max Mullins, jeepers, he's come on for Mana Tuolangi early in the game here, and he's completely upset this Springbok plan. There was a chip through to try and find some space there in between the two defenders at the back. But Max was really on top of that. And South Africa have lost a huge portion of territory here as we head into the final minute of this first half here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube video. We will be bringing you every single moment of this. Just before we go into the first the halftime break, we will be giving you some of the comments. Poor throw by the Springboks as the English are able to clean up at the back, just inside the 22. Ben Youngs gives it to Moro Toje, who's smashed back by the South African front row as they try and hold up play here, just inside the 22. Ben Youngs, drop kick opportunity for Marcus Smith. It's chased down, and it'll go over the in-goal area. 22-meter dropout for the Springboks. Whoa, that could have been a game-changing opportunity here. Last 15 seconds, he was in the pocket.
When last did we see a drop England goal? No, when last did you see England hit a drop goal against South Africa? It's normally the other way around.
Yes. If you're an English fan, you'll say the greatest drop goal to exist in rugby was Johnny Wilkinson in the 2003 Rugby World Cup to win against Australia. But 22 dropout here. It's a high one. It's a very shallow one, so that South Africa can probably collect it, but they don't. And English have the ball as the hoot has gone. Ben Youngs kicks up and over the top to find no one home. Jesse Krill runs into Handré Pollard, Willie Leroux. And now South Africa have to do a lot of hard work here to try and keep this, as they just kick this out. So that's the end of the first half. 17 points to 12. South Africa trail at Twickenham. We will be bringing you the second half in just a moment. Just for a couple of comments. Ria de Weideman says, hello, guys. Thanks for the commentary. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ria. We appreciate you being with us for this journey. Michelle Hohenberger has said,
hi, Michelle.
Hi, guys. Hope we win. Go Springboks. Can you guys say hi to me? Hello.
Hi, Michelle.
And then she says you got this. So hi, Michelle, or Michelle. It could be perhaps French. But from all of us at One World Sports Radio, hello. If you want to comment to us, tweet us at One World SR. I'm going to make way. My partner in crime, Otto Simon's going to be with Anis for the second half. Anis, what is your summation of the first half?
Slow start by the Springboks, but I think they upped the intensity in the last quarter and have caught up. So everything is game on for second half. Let's just. I think we're going to see the changes run quite quickly, quite early into the second half.
So Nice
All new
predicting a
all new
second
front
half.
row, all new front row within the
Absolutely.
first 10 minutes, guaranteed.
Absolutely. And then France then will kick a bomb from about 90 meters. Sounds about
Yeah,
right. So stick around. We'll be with you in a moment. Don't go anywhere. Ciao.
yes. That's it, Otto.
And welcome back to the second half of the final 40 minutes of the Springboks autumn tour. Anis, I'm nervous.
So am I. I'm always nervous, but I have a feeling that they're going to turn it on the second half, especially once the replacements come in. That's normally how it goes. The front three always get changed together, and if one group isn't working, the next group just smashes everything in their path. And I think that's going to happen tonight as well. I hope.
Yeah, so as a Springbok fan, that's what we're hoping for. The the thing that happens now is that England is unlocking the Springbok defense on the outside channels. We saw a little bit of a glimpse of that in the Scotland game, and England have now managed to get those wide channels, and that's where they've been hurting us.
Yeah, I think they've been drawing our defense very, very well. They've been drawing the Springbok defense very, very well. I'm not going to say it like I'm unbiased anymore. They're drawing our defense very, 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 very well, and they think that it seems like they've found the key to unlock the defense. But hopefully the talk with the team talk during halftime might have settled things down. I think this box just need to calm down and play the game at their pace instead of trying to have England dictate the pace of the game.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting once the substitutes come on. A multitude of caps for the Springboks and a few, well, at least one debutant and a few inexperienced replacements there for England. So that could be the difference. But I think it looked to me a little bit like the Springboks got to. Let me just reset my setup here. Just hang on.
All right. I think Otto's muted. Otto's definitely muted. Okay. There we go.
Into the middle of the park. South Africans set the ball, the ruck just outside their own 22. Ball goes back to Pollard. He sends this high up into the air to the near side touchline. Springboks playing from left to right. No, let me try something here.
Okay. England give away a penalty, and Henry Pollard slots this one to just over the halfway line, and South Africa have to put into the line out. 1 minute gone in the first half. It's going to be very interesting. Bongi Bonambi ready to throw in. It is a 5-man line out, and it goes to the back, and it is a very rough and tumble up. Free kick to the Springboks. Oh, knock on. Sorry, a scrum to England. There was a bit of a knock on from the Springboks. Everyone went through the middle and missed everything. We are going to now see how the front row stack up with each other again. As we were saying in the first half, the next scrum is going to be intense, and I think this is that next scrum. I think the Springbok front row is going to be firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, I think Nice, we spoke about it in the first half that we want to make sure that the Springboks in the second half start the second half with a strong showing here, and we will definitely be licking our chops here. Nice, if you want to call the next couple of next 10 minutes for us, I'll color in the lines with you.
Yeah. Okay, so the Springbok, the setup for the scrum as the Springbok front row, the replacement front row has taken off the tracksuits and are getting ready. The scrum was being reset, and England put in as we await for the instructions And
Looks
here
like a
it
bit of a
comes.
reset.
Yeah. So here it comes. Crouch. The referee touch. Pause. End. Engage. And now the referee was on the problematic side. And there's a huge scrum from the Springboks, and they win the penalty. There we go. And they're the verbals. And as it was in the look on the Springbok front row, the looks on their faces have changed. They are now wanting to eat up this England scrum, and I think they're going to do that for for the remainder of the time that they're on the field. They just obliterated that front row, and it is a thing of
Absolutely.
beauty
Massive.
to watch.
Massive scrum from the Springboks. And it's my goodness me, that's one that the
Here we
Springbok
go.
forward coach will be licking his chops at. It's a fantastic example of what scrumming should be and what scrumming should be from a Springbok. My word. Tshepo Faritsu and Che just absolutely smashed the England front row there. You would have thought that that experience counts, but not so in the first couple of scrums in the first half, but they've really done well here.
Andre Pollard stepping up and slots it and wide to the right. I don't think I should be calling any more action, because the moment I start calling action, Andre Pollard's just missing penalties.
Look, your scrumming is better than mine.
Okay, so I'll call scrums. You can call penalties.
Keep going. You're doing a great job.
And here we go. The moment we've been waiting for. The front rows have changed. And now I think the England front row is going to be in trouble. Let's do a penalty count from this moment. Scrum penalties. Just Dave, what's the time? What's your time there?
44 minutes 1 second as we see the
there we go.
The three replacements come on. Malcolm off, Stephen Kitsoff, and Vincent Koch are your replacements. A triple sub, and that's the plan for the Springboks has been for a long time. And so we're going to see how they are absolutely going to smash the English here.
Kickoff from England, and it goes deep, but it is returned to sender business. And the Springboks maul the receiver that side. The ball, England retain the ball and clear again. And now back to Andre Pollard, who swings it wide to Willie Leroux, who does a little hop, skip, and a jump. And a break by Kwagga Smith, but he's shut down quickly. And Kobus Reinach in. And it's got to Willie Leroux again. And now it is, Damien Delende to, poor pass, sorry. Went to Damien Delende, straight to Siya Kolisi, but he couldn't get his pass away, and it just popped it out into touch. Unfortunately, they ran him into.
Yeah, it was an overrun there from Jesse Creel. But that tackle you talk about on Kwagga Smith, goodness me. Johnny Hill absolutely smoked the South African flanker.
But he took it well. They just ran out of space. Even if he passed, there was nothing for JC Creel. Nothing on the very, very tight line. But a great pass from Damien Delende out the back of his hand.
Yeah, great bit of work there from the Springboks in that build-up play. Jesse Creel was right there. He called it, and then he overran there.
Here comes the England line out, and it is a maul, but they're going backwards, and it is cleared with a box kick to Jesse Creel, who sides through the England midfield, but gets stopped by the centres and is brought to the ground. Kobus Reinach is complaining to the ref, having a full-on conversation. This one goes to Andre Pollard, who puts it up in the air, and Makazole Mapu. Good hit by Damien Delende on. And it's coming through quick hands this time. Sorry for not being able to keep up at this moment. This one is moved through the South African midfield to Andre Pollard. He passes to Willie Leroux, who puts up another hanging kick. This one it goes to the England fullback, and he's brought down to ground. England retain the ball, and it's bubble. There we go. Yeah. Sorry.
Freddie Stewart's been very busy.
And the holder, there was a but in the ruck, England have been penalised for holding on. Things were just happening so quickly. But a
Courtney
good
Laws,
win.
yeah. Courtney Laws
Yeah.
was the one who was the guilty man there.
Oh, we got hit. I was saying he was bobbling it, and he just got nailed. Oh, by the replacement. Who was that? Not Malcolm Marks. Oh, of course it's
Malcolm Marks, the replacement hooker, yeah.
Yeah. The look on his face, like, oh no. That's one of those moments where like they have that meme of, at that moment you realize you know
knew he messed up.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ryan. You must be wondering why my life is like this.
His life flashing before his eyes. Andre Pollard is going for poles again. I think you should call this one, Gabe.
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity. We see Joe Marler warming up on the side of the park. There's 73 caps. This will be number 74 for him. 48th minute as Andre Pollard gets ready to go for poles. He's only missed one today, but this one is 46 meters. So let's see how he goes. A concerned look on his face here as he steps up. He smashes it. It's got the distance, but doesn't have the direction. It does not. The flag stay down.
That's 2. That's 6 points, which would have given South Africa the lead. So yeah, that's it. So did he change his kicking boots at halftime? I'm not quite sure what happened, because he was slotting things from a much harder distance and harder angle early on in the game as England restart, and it goes straight down Andre Pollard's throat, who hoops one high into the night sky as England regather and is brought to the ground. Otoje making a nuisance of himself.
Yeah, Marcus Smith collects that one. This is a good up. Oh, he's hit it on the head.
Oh,
as Valerie breakaway.
As England rumble through the ruck and get front football replacement prop on, and he goes through.
Yeah, there's a penalty coming here for the English. It was a knock on there by the Springboks as we see them doing a bit of cleanup work there in the end. We're just sorting out some of the technical issues. There's a bit of a push and shove there from the English and Springbok forwards as they're having a not so quiet word to one another. We see a bit of treatment here for the number 8 of England, which is Tom Curry. We're just having a look at that catch by Willie Leroux. He's caught it on the shoulder rather than in the breadbasket, and that's where the frustration has been. Andre Pollard earlier in this half also missing out on quite a simple catch, and that's where the frustration for the Springboks has been in this second period. The Springboks are really missing out on what should be quite a standard passage of play for them catching, as we see Ben Youngs make his way off the park. The replacement is Rafi Quirk, quirky name, but it's only his second game for the men from the English Roses rather. He's replacing 100 Test caps. He's made his England debut at the age of 20, and so now he's really in just his second game has to really step into some big shoes here as a replacement scrum half here. Set now for the scrum. 50 minutes is where we're heading towards, a 49-22, and the South African forward pack are going to be licking their chops, as is Joe Marler. Didn't have the best time in the British and Irish Lions series, but Vincent Koch is looking like he's a bloodthirsty tiger. The set is good. Massive shove here from the Springboks. Dwayne Vermeulen pushing hard there. And the South Africans have the scrum penalty. Wow. Oh, wow. That was exactly what the doctor would have ordered. Springboks through Stephen Kitsoff absolutely smashing this England front row here. High fives all around from the Springboks. Slaps on the back. Great bit of work there from the replacement Springbok forwards, and 50 minutes gone. South Africa within 5, and they're going to kick for the touchline on the near side of the park. So 2 scrum penalties each. It's not been one-sided by any stretch of the imagination, but it was that first shove, and you just saw Dwayne Vermeulen pop his head up high as the Springboks absolutely smoked the English front row. Malcolm Marx will now have a discussion with Kitsoff as he looks to direct traffic there at the line-out. My partner, Otto Simon, will be joining me once again. Simon Gear, our producer, thank you for your excellent work behind the scenes. Otto, welcome back. The ball is now near side of the park, 10-meter line, and Marx is going to look for a recipient to throw it to. He does throw it now, collected by De Jager, and there's a maul. As South Africa gets some good forward momentum, they're desperately trying to upset them all, are the English Roses. 5 meters now, forward, gone. Marx pops it out to Reinach. He runs into traffic and goes the other direction, snaps away from Maro Toje, who absolutely has to hang on with dear life to try and keep the Springbok scrum half in line there. Kwagga Smith now playing that role as he throws it to Loot De Jager, smashed, and good support there by Dwayne Vermeulen as he cleans out Maro Toje. There's nobody at home for South Africa, but eventually we get Kobus Reinach now. He sends it to Vincent Koch, who juggles it a little bit, not convincingly in the slightest. Middle of the park, just over the 10-meter line. Box kick high now, an up and under from Andre Pollard. Great call there in the end. Called a mark immediately, but Freddie Stewart thumps it out, and South Africa will have a throw just between the 10-meter line and the 50-meter line. Otto, hello. You had the struggles with the technology.
Among other things, yes. So tried something new.
And biblical rain, by the sounds of it.
Yes, it was a deluge here, which we're grateful for. So Malcolm Marx has the towel and the ball on the near side of the field. He puts it in now, short line out on the halfway line on the far side of the field. Box go into the midfield, trying to get over the advantage line. And Siya Kolisi makes it into the English half. Kobus Reinach comes to the near side. The ball is carried up now by Damian de Allende. It looks like a bit of a off the feet there. Kobus Reinach sends it out to another pot of forwards on the 10-meter line of England are the Springboks. Going into the middle of the park, into the far side goes Andre Pollard. Vali Leroux kicks it to the near side of the field, tries to get to the touchline, but it's fielded there by the left wing, Johnny May for England. Sends it into his fullback, Stewart, who sends it high up into the air to the near side touchline, where it's carried forward now very diligently by Damian de Allende, and the Springboks are over the 10-meter line once again.
And a penalty as well for the Springboks. It was actually quite interesting to see Freddie Stewart try and tackle Damian de Allende, and then he got smashed away. And in the end, the man who was penalized was Sam Underhill, hands in the ruck from the referee, who is Andrew Brace, the Irishman, has the whistle. So great bit of work there, Otto, from Siya Kolisi as he made a break through the advantage line there.
Yeah, he came up against the number 10 there, shoved him out of the way. Another tackle there went in too low on Siya Kolisi by Tom Curry it was, and eventually it was brought down. But good intensity by the Springboks. They're looking good with ball in hand. Siya Kolisi there, Damian de Allende also bumping off at least one tackle, allowing the support players
Freddie Stewart, he ran over him. There. That's a hit and run. I think you should report that to Scotland Yard. The Metro Police in England. I mean, you can't hit and run like that.
Yeah, Pollard strikes this one now. It just curls into the right of the left-hand upright for another 3 points to the box. The score is now 15 points to the Springboks, 17 to England. And the time there, please, Coach Dave.
54 minutes, 16 seconds.
So good work there by the Springboks, getting the penalty inside the half, and Pollard has found his luggage on this November tour.
Is on for Underhill, and we see Andre Pollard making his way off the park for Elton Yankees. We've also seen Frans Steyn come onto the park as he collects this one.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a maul set up now inside the Springboks 22, and it's available for Kobus Reinach, who sends it back to Elton Yankees with the left foot, sends it high up into the air, not looking for the touchline. It comes down 10 meters outside the Springbok 22 collected by Johnny May. Immediately, every English player collecting the ball is swarmed by Bok defense. They're back within their own 10-meter line now. Smith sends it up into the air to the far side touchline, knocked forward by England, collected by Frans Steyn inside his own 22. There's a knock-on advantage, and the referee will bring them back for the scrum on the far side of the field, 5 meters in from the far side touchline, 5 meters out from the Springbok 22. And that was a good escape there for the Springboks. The English are really playing to their strengths. They're playing away from the contact points. They're keeping the ball away from the forwards. They're doing a very good job of executing a clear tactical plan so far in this match. And it's up to the Springboks now to counter that and get back. There's only a 2-point difference as we see the number 1, Bevan Rod, being
Courtney
replaced
Laws.
now. And
Courtney Laws. Sinclair's coming off, and it looks Stewart is
Joe
on
Marler.
for him.
Yeah.
Joe Marler's on the park, yeah. So the funny thing, for those of you who are watching along with us, you would have seen Francois Steyn basically carrying Henry Slade like a child is carried on your back when you give them a piggyback. It was absolutely incredible to see. It was, something that every Springbok fan wants to see as the scrum sets up now. South Africa with the forward momentum off of that last scrum, Otto, and they'd love to really compound the misery for the English.
Yeah, both replacement front rows on now. Scrum goes forward for the Springboks very rapidly, and it's kept at the back by Dwayne Vermeulen. And it's a penalty advantage to the Springboks in the scrum. The first scrum with England's replacement props, and they couldn't do the job. The replacement front row of the Springboks getting the better of England there. That's amazing work there by the scrum. You can just see the power pulsating through the Springbok scrum as they send those second shoves and third and fourth efforts into the bodies of the English players and going backwards, screwing around. And that's a penalty kick by Francois Steyn. It goes out on the far side of the field. The Springboks will have a line out very close to the English 22. So that was a good recovery by South Africa. Good escape.
Francois Steyn doesn't realize there's no rugby next week. So if you kick it next week, it's not going to help you. Kick it, just don't kick it 130 meters. Just 60 is fine. Thank you.
Throw comes in from Marks, and he's already got the ball at the back of the maul that went a little bit backwards, and the Springboks now setting it and going forward. They're marching forward. They're going up to close to the 22-meter line of the English, and they reach it now. England trying to get the Bok maul over the far side touchline. The maul goes to ground inside England's 22. Penalty. Ball goes out to the back line, but it's a penalty advantage to the Springboks as a forward collected that. One pass ruck again to the blind side. They go now through Malcolm Marks. England desperately defending, doing a good job of keeping the Springboks on the back foot here as Vincent Koch goes over the 22. The ball goes now back into the back line, and cutting inside is Damian Dalende. He's got some support there. Ball is available. Kobus Ranach goes to the far side, the blind side. Makazole Mapimpi passes out to Malcolm Marks. He gets through one tackle, goes back to Kobus Ranach. They're 5 meters out as Kwagga Smith collects the ball from a pass, but it's knocked forward, and there is a penalty to the Springboks, very close to where play stopped there. So there might have been multiple infringements, some consultation between the assistant referee there and the referee. But the referee signaled a penalty advantage and a penalty to the Boks.
Advantage, 2 penalties. They're just going to have a discussion with the TMO.
So the first infringement
2 penalties offside
on that. It was offside in those movements. Yes, of course. Okay. Yeah. So just Kwagga Smith knocking the ball on, and not quite with an open try line in front of him, but he picked the ball up that squirted back from Kobus Ranach getting tackled. So it wasn't a pass that went to Kwagga Smith. He just didn't manage to collect that. Elton Jantjies sends the penalty out to the far side touchline, 5 meters in from the English try line. There will be a line out. Malcolm Marks has the towel and the ball. And now he has the ball only. He gets the signal from Stephen Kitsoff, rather.
Throw it to me.
Ball go
That's the answer.
to the front of the line out, and it is a maul set by the Springboks. It's edging forward on the 5-meter line now. The Springboks working very hard with the legs. They've got good body position. They're mauling over the try line now of England, and it will be a try to South Africa. It looks like the referee says no. There was a held up there. Makazole Mapimpi at the back of the scrum dives over. The referee says no. That one was also not good. And this time, England defending just
I think it's held up.
And they managed to get the ball out of Kwagga Smith's hands and hold it up. Who is that getting up off the floor? That is the number 23, Max Malins, who came on in the first half. And England have defended a maul try by the Springboks. That is the first time in a long time that I've seen any team defend a maul try by the Springboks. Kwagga Smith trying to muscle his way over, and Malins just getting in the way there. Is it Malins?
Yeah, Max Malins. Yeah, he's done the fantastic job there. Kwagga Smith just trying to roll out of it like an alligator with its prey, but not quite managing the result that he was hoping for. So South Africa, with 30 seconds to go to the hour mark, are 2 points behind, and this last 20 minutes is really going to count here as we see a substitution for the English. We'll let you know who it is in a moment. He looks like drop goal from him. Oh my word.
Goal line dropout by England. Frans Steyn collects the ball just inside the English half and sends the drop goal. I think it must have been just a little bit
he just missed it
to the inside. And no, it just pushed it right
to the right. Yeah.
Right to the right of the right-hand upright. Oh, he rubs the back of his head. And now it's
desperation
dropout by England. The ball goes to the middle of the park inside the Springbok 10-meter line. And chip kick there by I'm not sure who, but there's good follow-up there by Jesse Kriel. As Frans Steyn sent that one in. Ben Youngs is at this is the replacement scrum half. This will be
Rafi
Quirk. As England set another ruck. And Quirk gets the ball to the back to get the box kick going. It's charged down by the Springboks just outside the 22 on the near side of the field. The Springboks have the penalty as England hang on to the ball on the floor. Good charge down there for Quirk's kick, and the Springboks are starting to swarm in defense. They're starting to put the English on the heels of their feet. And really putting the pressure on in defense there. Good follow-up work there by the Springboks, getting the penalty, isolated England players, and the Springboks will go for the put into the line out. It'll be about 8 or 9 meters from the English try line on the near side of the field. The Springboks playing from left to right on our screens. Malcolm Marx will get the signal. He will get the ball. He will get a towel. He's got
just
the
over
ball
the
now.
hour mark as we head into the 19th minute. 19 minutes remaining.
Atoje jumps early, but Springboks, and it's a good sack of the maul by the English players. The Springboks trying to reset it, but they heard it towards the near side touchline, and it will be the Springboks managed to keep it in. It'll be a ruck, and the ball is available to Kobus Reinach on the near side of the field, 8 meters out, and Vincent Koch sends it out to his fellow forwards to form the one-pass ruck pattern that we've seen so many times. Kobus Reinach is there, sends the ball to the middle of the park, and it is one of the forwards there crashing into the English defense, goes to the far side once again in the middle of the park. The Springboks have the penalty advantage in the middle of the field. Inside the 22, Eben Etzebeth gets taken down by 3 simultaneous tackles, and Atoje gets the ball out to the English side, but they will come back for an advantage to the Springboks, penalty advantage for offside play by England. And this will be the Springboks taking the lead, no doubt. I don't think they're going to go for a sideline kick here, as Eben Etzebeth is getting some medical attention.
Yeah, Alex Dombrand is the man on the park there. I think it was Eben Etzebeth who came into contact and tried to roll through a tackle, and that's why he's on the ground at the moment. We see he was caught there by number 6,
he fell
Courtney
right
Laws,
in,
and then was
yeah,
smashed into the right arm there, and that's why it was an uncomfortable one, unintentional high tackle. So at worst, a penalty, I would think. I don't think it was, because what happened is that his level changed in
no,
the
that's
tackle
not
from
a
Courtney Laws.
penalty. Eben fell right into his arm. I mean, the guy wasn't trying to put a high tackle on Eben. He just
No,
was
not at
there,
all.
and
But it
Eben
was
just
because
fell
Courtney Laws
into
took
his
out his
forearm.
legs.
Yeah, he just fell into his forearm. That cannot possibly be a penalty. That's just, well, it's what you would call an F1 a racing incident. It was just an unfortunate. It's like a clash of heads between two teammates.
Unforced error. Yeah,
it's just unfortunate. We hope
Charlie
Eben is
Ewells
okay,
who,
because that's a hell of a slap to the head there, and you could see his head moving on top of his body. So I hope he's okay. That can be that can end badly for anybody. I mean, Eben is tough, but he's not invincible, you know.
Jeez,
Yeah,
I don't. I agree with you, Otto. I don't think it was an intentional one. As the clock stopped now at 62 and a half minutes. South Africa trailing by 2 points. But the key is that it was just because Courtney Laws took out the legs there of Eben Etzebeth as he tried to spin out of that tackle. But for those of you who are listening along with us, thank you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe to our Facebook and our YouTube. Ring the bell, because that's when you know when we're going to be live. Make sure that you keep an eye out for us on the SuperSport YouTube channel for the South Africa A, India A series. We arrive on Monday for Tuesday's game, so please keep an eye on that, as well as the Netherlands series is going to happen. South Africa will be playing against the Dutch national team. Brandon Glover is one of the really fantastic South Africans that are in that team, along with about 90 others. It's one of South Africa's diaspora team that I'm sure you'll know. But yes, follow that every moment live on One World Sports Radio, Guerrilla Cricket South Africa. So if you like and subscribe to this channel, if you like this video and subscribe to the channel and ring the bell, you know exactly when we bring you that live fixture. This is our last rugby game for 2021, but Otto, myself, Anis, Paul, Simon, all the rugby boys will be back for you in the new year with the new rugby series. Otto, while they're having a quick break here, you want to quickly try and sum up, as it looks like South Africa are going to go for polls here through. Do you want to sum up this South African rugby season?
Oh, I mean, wow. It's just, when you think this team is down and out, they just get up and they just play better. The Lions were licking their lips literally as we see Andre Pollard Alton Yankee slotting this one with the left foot, and the Boks take the lead for the first time in the game. It's 18 points to 17. Time there by you, Coach Dave.
63-13 as we see Siya Kolisi really geeing up his players here. So Otto, if you don't mind, I'll take the last 7 here before you wrap us up and bring us home with a win. Because my instruction to you when I went off at halftime was win the game for us, please. As we see Marcus Smith hoist this high into the air. Mostert is on for De Jager and Visa is on for Smith. Good catch there by Frans Steyn inside his 22-meter line. Joe Marler trying to do a bit of clean-out work, but it's not going to come. Thrown now to Eben Etzebeth, who looks like he's back on his feet. Great to see from a South African player who should have really gotten a Player of the Year nomination from World Rugby. Box kick now. It goes deep into the territory, caught by the English number 15, Freddie Stewart, but they try and take a quick one, and they don't. Jesse Kriel, unfortunately, decides that he needs to fiddle with the ball, and there's a grumpy sort of comment from the replacement hooker from England, Nick Dolly. It's actually his debut game, and that's why we couldn't really tell you who he was. Caught there wonderfully, and the ball moves quickly. The quick ball here. There's a breakaway in the middle of the park. He's got options to his left and his right. He throws it away to number 22, Rafi Kirk, over the try line. And South Africa have to pull this back because England are now ahead with the conversion still to come. There was a gap in defense in midfield. No one was at home, and it was too easy for Rafi Kirk just to collect that from the late tackle, from the late offload there. Try time.
No.
First try for Rafi Quirk.
Excellent support play here. England moving the ball, lots of players in motion, and then just through the gap in the midfield, and then the ball beats the man away from the defenders. Good support play by England. It was Joe Marchant
number
who made the
14, Joe
break,
Marchant.
and then the ball inside to number 22, Rafi Quirk. He goes over just to the left of the uprights, and England are in the lead now by 6.
6 points, yeah. They're going to have to be mindful as we head into the final 15, but it was all the work there from number 14, Joe Marchant. He found a gap, saw a gap, and sniped straight through the middle. He had options to his left and right with Marcus Smith on his right, but he chose to go to his left, and in the end, great bit of work there to finish. He was under pressure from a France stain that was chasing him down. But a first international try for Rafi Quirk, the replacement scrum half. We spoke about the fact that he needed to come on, replace Ben Youngs, and really put his stamp on this game, and he has done exactly that. Fantastic tackle from Jesse Kriel in the return from the kickoff. Now, Quirk luring in his forwards to perhaps set up for a box kick. Even Etzebeth looking to maybe steal it once again. He doesn't manage to chase that one down. That looks like it's just bounced out there. So Rafi Quirk from inside his own 22-meter line, it bounced literally just the outside of the line on the near side of the park. And so a good bit of watching there from Francois Steyn just to make sure that he didn't collect the ball or perhaps knock it out on the near side touchline. So South Africa on just shy of the English 10-meter line, near side of the park. There's no real formation yet from the Springboks, as the referee saying, well, hold on, lads. What's going on here? There's only 3, but another 3 that are hanging out there in Mostert and Etzebeth and Kolisi. So this is going to be a quick throw away here. Kolisi into the maul, and the maul is good. Good catch by Franco Mostert as Malcolm Marx looks to drive. It's going in the wrong direction, as there is a penalty from the Springboks that's been brought down, a penalty advantage rather for the Springboks. It's been brought down by the English. It's a number of times that this has happened, and immediately the referee is going to have a word here. It's a yellow card for the English. A number of, multiple times we've seen this, Otto, where the English have been ill-disciplined at the maul, but that was blatant from Will Stewart, the replacement, number 18, and he's been sent to the sin bin. And will only come back about 3 minutes before the conclusion of this game.
No, he doesn't look surprised. He actually went over to his teammates to try and get a few high fives. So no doubt Eddie Jones sent him in there as an agent.
Slaughter to the lamb. That's a kamikaze.
Yeah. And then his teammates didn't want anything to do with him and reminded him that the faster you sit down on that chair, the faster you can get up, because they start counting the 10 minutes when the player actually sits down.
I've seen it at schoolboy level where the players.
That's a bit of a giveaway, man. That's a bit of a tactical giveaway there by the players there. Okay, so
it's a gamble. It's a gamble. 6 points behind of the Springboks. Just a converted try will change that. Maro Toje almost got that, but good take by Dwayne Vermeulen. South Africa get the forward momentum on the maul. They've wheeled it through 180, and South Africa still have forward ball with Etzebeth and Malcolm Marx, as we see Herschel Yankees on the park to replace Cobus Reinach. The call of use it once is there as Jesse Kriel jumps into the maul. Siya Kolisi is ripped out, and he's going to just fall back into it. South Africa eventually falls short, about 3 meters shy of the try line, and it's held up here. It looks like Maro Toje is trying to steal the ball, but he's been told, calm down, young man. Jasper Visser dives for the try line. He's held up short as Herschel Yankees is desperately trying to beg for the ball. There's a penalty advantage here, almost guaranteed a penalty try if something goes wrong. It's Yankees out to Mapimpi, out in the corner. Mapimpi to score. South Africa have a late try here. Can they hang on to this? This game is not dead. Mapimpi got a ball from Elton Yankees, who created that opportunity, but the numbers on the overlap were there. South Africa have a try. 20 international tries for Makazole Mapimpi. Cool as you like, Otto.
Oh, that's just beautiful by the Springboks, playing heads-up rugby, getting the ball away from the defenders, getting the ball to the man in space, Makazole Mapimpi, and he doesn't make a Mapimpi mistake any day of the week. good wide
It was a long
distribution
ball there to
And-
Dalende, and it was a quick release to Mapimpi. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was Yankees to
It was Lukani
and
rather.
wide out to
Yes.
Mapimpi, and he just jogs the 3 strides over to the try line and does what he does so well for the Springboks, just finishes it off. And that's good signs from the Springboks. 1 point is the difference, 23 to the Springboks, 24 to England. Yankees with the kick from the far side touchline. And it's about 2 meters from the far side touchline. So it's a difficult kick for Elton Yankees, but he can nail this
left
one.
foot, yeah.
He's going to nail this one.
You would hope that he's going to curl this one.
Yeah, it's on the easier side of the field for the left-handed kicker, for the left-footed kicker, excuse me. So he steps forward now and strikes. And the ball sails, just to the left of the left-hand upright. Oh, it was so close. So South Africa 1 point behind. Now the Boks need to defend, Dave.
Final 10 minutes here. Otto, bring us home and make sure we win the game, please. That's a simple instruction. You can do it.
They've got to defend, Dave. So England with the kickoff to the middle of the park, collected by Eben Etzebeth. He's tackled back, but he's got support. And Herschel Yankees is there at the back with the ball under control. It looks like he's setting up for a box kick to clear the lines, no doubt. And he strikes it now with the right foot. It goes to about 20 meters in. Knock on by England, collected by Jasper Wiese. Tries to chicken wing it back to Vincent Koch, but it's Lucanio now struggling for possession, and the Boks have it just inside the England half. They go over the halfway line once again. Herschel Yankees sends it out to Elton Yankees. High kick to the far side of the field. Who's going to collect that? It is going to be
advantage South Africa, it looks like.
It's a scrappy ball there on the floor, and South Africa have the penalty.
Yes.
England off their feet at the breakdown. Dwayne Vermeulen in there.
Moro Toje.
Malcolm Marks was there. Moro Toje off his feet, penalized by the referee. No, it was for holding on. So he did manage to get possession for England, but then the Springboks were over the ball and won the possession straight
Swarmed
back.
him. Yeah, so it was Dwayne Vermeulen who was all over him.
It's got to be a goal kick now. It's on just outside the 10-meter line of England. It's about 20 meters in from the far side touchline where that penalty took place. So Francois Steyn walking forward, looking keen. Elton Yankees will also be there. It's once again on the left side of the field, a little bit closer into the poles. So this is definitely one that Yankees would fancy. But I'm getting the feeling, Coach Dave, that these Springbok defenders are really getting up the noses of the England players now. Just like what we saw against Wales and Scotland the past 3 weeks. The guys are really turning defense into attack.
Absolutely, and I think that's the thing that South Africa have gotten right in their game plan was to make sure that they got under the skin, irritated, annoyed, and not played it illegally, but just made sure that they tried to get underneath the skin of the opposition. As Frans Steyn, you biscuit through the poles. South Africa lead by 2 points, and there's 7.5 minutes left. Nervous looks there from Jacques Nienaber.
Yeah, South Africa 26, England 24, and there's about 7.5 minutes to go. So it will be Marcus Smith with the kickoff. He looks a bit worried, but I think that's just the expression that he always has in his face.
Yeah.
Resting face. So the kickoff goes to the middle of the park, collected by Frans Steyn, just inside the 22 of the Springboks. It's a ruck set now, and Herschel Yankees is at the back, sends the ball to the far side to Vincent Koch, who goes crashing in to the England defenders behind the advantage line. Herschel Yankees once again with the ball at the back, asking for a little tunnel there for the box kick, and he strikes it now. The ball goes into the air. It'll come down just onto the Springbok 10-meter line, and it is a great work there by Eben Etzebeth, of all people, who chased that kick and got the ball back. Sia Kolisi, so good cleaning up work there. And the Boks bring it now to the near side of the field through the back line. They're over the halfway line. Lucanio Arm sends it to Francois Steyn, who comes cutting back in. It takes 2 people to bring him down. Herschel Jantjies once again sends it out to Loot de Jager, it looks like. He gets the ball to the far side. Etzebeth gets the ball to the far side where there's a player in support, and there is offside played by the Springboks, and it's a penalty. The Springboks made it all the way into the 22 of England before the referee said that there was some misdemeanor
was
there
off his
by
feet.
the Springboks. Off his feet, okay.
But it looks like he might have been tripped there. If we just have a look
what
at this
a run
great
by
bit of
Eben
interception.
Just
we see this ball kicked out. I'm sure they'll show us the replay again, but it's exactly, I think there's a Jean de Villiers try that we seem to remember from an intercept, and obviously there wasn't an intercept, but an intercept from Jean de Villiers against the All Blacks. I think you remember that. Brian Abana also did it on a number of occasions where he just found that perfect line to surgically cut his way through. So English throw on the 10-meter line inside their half. Nick Dolly in his first game, and he'll want to make sure that he finds his recipient there from Twickenham with love.
On the far side of the field, on the 10-meter line out a little bit disrupted by the Springboks, but England have possession just over their own 10-meter line. It's coming in field. Joe Marler goes down on the 10-meter line behind the advantage line, and it's a kick here by Smith, and it's collected by one of the English players, and it's a penalty to England, I think, and the English players are remonstrating because they got that loose ball.
Because Siya Kolisi's played the man in the air. That's why there's a conversation.
No, so
Sia's saying, I can't see him, but I think the referee's going to have a look here. There's 5 minutes to go. South Africa 2 points ahead. I think if the English get an opportunity here, they're going to go for poles. But I think let me see if I can listen into what the referee is saying. Chip over the top there as we see.
It was a jump by Marchand and Siya
Kolisi had his head in the sky.
Yeah, they were both going up into the air. They both made contact with each other in the air, but Marchand, the number 14 for England, just getting his body rotated by Kolisi in the collision. But that's at least a penalty with the new rules. But I can't see how Kolisi could have. I mean, they're going to penalize Siya Kolisi now because Marchand made contact with the ball first. He was higher in the air, and Kolisi made contact with the player in the air. But there might be some mitigating circumstances for the Southern.
It's like a penalty and a yellow card coming here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a penalty because he says that he's tackled him in the air as well as made no attempt to go after the ball. But that's why Siya Kolisi is going to remain with the final 5 minutes. So there's going to be 14 men each for the next couple of... No, rather, the English have their last minute of their yellow card. He's going to make... Siya Kolisi is going to make his way off the park here for the final 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and it's going to take a huge effort here from the Springboks. Now, playing against 15 Englishmen who have controlled the game very nicely for most parts up to now. It's a penalty just inside the English half. And it's not quite in the middle of the park, but very close to it. So let's see if Marcus Smith, he's going to go for the touchline. So he's going to line this up for the touchline. They're not going to take the 3. And I think that's a lucky escape
Marcus
for the
Smith,
Springboks.
Yeah, I initially thought it was Henry Slade that was going to have perhaps take an opportunity to kick for poles there, but he doesn't. And Marcus Smith just over the South African 22, not the English side of the 22, so not quite there. But frustrating, I'm sure, for Siya Kolisi as we head into the final moments of the rugby season for South Africa in 2021.
Defensive line out now for the Springboks, just outside the 22 on the near side of the field. Dolly has the ball for England. He puts it into the front and it's stolen by the Springboks. Knocked back. Can they get possession? Yes, Vincent Koch has it. No. Now it's Herschel Jantjies who has it and he goes a bit forward. No, it's not Herschel Jantjies, but he's got the ball now at the back of the ruck and it's South Africa's ball as they set up another ruck inside their own 22. about 16 meters out from the near side touchline. Mahler is just telling the referee that he's got nowhere to go. Jantjies is trying to hook the ball into his face so that he gets the penalty, but the referee says it's available. Herschel Jantjies sends the ball high up into the air. It's going to come down over the near side touchline, over the 10-meter line of the Springboks. And they've given up possession now to the English with about, 4 or 5 minutes to go. Eddie Jones there, the English coach is up on his feet. Jock Nienaber is giving himself a comfort hug. Both coaches' boxes full of nerves here.
3.5 minutes left.
3.5 minutes to go. Dolly will have the throw in for the English just inside the Springbok half on the near side of the field.
We have to turn this over and then just park the bus.
Yep, and the ball goes in. It goes to the back, and it's knocked on by England. It looks like goes down and into the back line. Siya Kolisi carrying it up over the 10-meter line of the Springboks, and it goes out of the ruck into another ruck on the 10-meter line of the Springboks. Herschel Jantjies sends it out to Eben Etzebeth, who crashes through just over the advantage line. Now Herschel Jantjies gets tackled back by a counter maul by the English. They've got the ball. They send it out into their backline. The Springboks are up in defense quickly. The ball comes to the near side of the field, inside the English half. It's a clueless dance here by Johnny May on the left-hand side for England, and he sets up the ruck. And it goes back behind the 10-meter line, well behind the advantage line. England trying to find space on the outside, on the far side of the field. They're up to the halfway line now, just inside their own half. The ball is about 15 meters in from the far side touchline. Springboks valiant in defense, defending the halfway line as if it's the try line. Maro Toje goes over that halfway line. It's picked up by Quirk. He sends it to the near side of the field where Johnny May gets it into the breadbasket. He makes a few yards. He gets to the 10-meter line of the Springboks. Quirk now back to the inside of the field. Curry carries it up. Good handling here by the English, and it's a good contestation in the ruck, but the referee has his arm out for an English advantage. Ball goes back now. England are on the 10-meter line of the Springboks, and it's Smith that carries it in to the Springbok 10-meter line, and it's another penalty to England. Advantage as the referee now has to stop the game. Players are flying in, and good work by England just to set the phases and to get into that danger area, to get into that last minute penalty zone. And it looks like they're going to steal this away from South Africa. There's a lot of pushing and shoving. Guys, the clock's running. I don't think the ref has stopped the clock, so it's in the interest of the Springboks.
No, he has now 78-52, but it was a bit of pushing and shoving, guys having a word with each other. Maro Toja and Malcolm Marx are having a conversation with one another, and I think this is going to descend very quickly if somebody's not careful. It came from the Jasper Wiese flying into the tackle, into the ruck rather. He had no intention to clean out, and I'm going to be interested to see what the referee says here. It's a kickable enough penalty. They are
it's an easy win.
Basically in front of the posts. Yeah,
it's 26.
We don't deserve this
Springboks win, and 24 to England. Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. Okay, so the referees are talking to each other now, and they're going to decide what they're going to do. But it's definitely an England penalty. That was the first decision. And now we'll just see if they might turn it around. But I don't think so. I think there might just be an extra talk here. Yeah, but
it looks like
the captain.
They're not happy with Frans Steyn, who's come around the back there. As you see, Angus Gardner just directing the referee, the Irishman, Andrew Brace, just to say, look, everything was somewhat okay, but the number 23 coming around the outside is where the concern is for me. So it's going to be interesting.
Let's have a look at the replay here
as we see England.
So Frans Steyn just went off his feet and just fell over the ball right in front of the post. So that was a bad mistake from him. He tried to put his foot over the ball to try and hook it back, but then lost his balance and just fell over. So a really bad mistake there by Francois Steyn, it has to be said. and it will be an easy win here for for Marcus Smith. What is this? His 4th Test match for England, and this one is almost in the middle of the field, about 5 meters out from the Springbok 22. He slots this straight through the middle. That's why he's in the England team. He's got the 3 points for England. It's 27 England, 26 to the Springboks. Only seconds to play. The Springboks have one last chance. One last chance.
Yeah, they've got to win their own kickoff. Yeah.
Win their own kickoff and make it count. So Elton Jantjies has the ball in the middle of the park. The Springboks are fully aware of the game situation. They're looking very focused, especially Itzebeth there. So are the English. The kickoff goes
the crowd
to
singing
the
very
middle of the
loudly.
park into
Swing low,
just
sweet
outside
chariot.
the 22. It's a little bit of a knock on there. It looks like it's a penalty to England. And the Springboks have lost possession inside the England 22, and the English bench are celebrating.
I don't think the game's
captain,
over.
Courtney Laws there.
Hold on, I don't think it's
Manutu
over
Elagi.
here.
I
don't think it's over, Otto. Hold the brakes here. I think the game is. Yes, but I think they're going to go to the TMO here because that, like you said, it looked like a bit of a knock on here. So there's going to be.
And there's some afters again now. The players are getting into sandbags and handbags, and I don't like this. You know, just wait till the guy gets the ball, and then you tackle 7 shades of whatever out of him. You know, don't go pushing and shoving people like that. That's not cool. That doesn't help anything. Okay, so let's see. What do the referees have in store for us? England lead by 1 point. South Africa have a hope against hope. So we see the replay here. Players going up for the ball. Eben Etzebeth going up for the ball. And that's...
Yeah, I don't think there's a knock on there. I think he's gone backwards there.
Yeah, I think
South Africa have lost this at the death. 27-26.
And let's see what the referee has to say.
The referee looks like he's going to give him... I think he's going to give England a penalty there. Well, the initial call was an England penalty, and I think that's what's going to stand.
Yeah, that's a penalty to England. That's the end of it. England have won. They've beaten the Springboks. Revenge is sweet. And it was served up to the Springboks at Twickenham today. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Thank you so much, Coach Dave. Thank you, Anis. Thank you so much for everybody listening. Thanks for your support. We do appreciate it. Well done to England. Outfoxed, outboxed.
Yeah, absolutely. So we